Hello, YouTube. This is Bub's Comics coming at you with a vacation comic haul. We're going to do a quick little live deal going on here and see what pops up. So let's see. No one in the chat yet. That's fine. We want to test this Wi-Fi out too because we've got the No Faces comic chat starting tomorrow, and I'm going to be doing it from a remote location. So I wanted to make sure that everything runs smoothly. So far, I think we're in good shape. Hey, Metrog, how are you doing? Good to see you. Glad you're in the chat. We'll see how this goes. So, hey, what up, DS Comics? My two favorite YouTubers. Just checking you guys out. I was just telling the replay audience that I'm on vacation this week. So I'm testing out the Wi-Fi. I'm going to do a live comic haul. That way I make sure everything works for our chat tomorrow night. So that's what I got going on. Okay, let's get started. We got X-Men Classic number 59. As you all know, I'm a big fan of the Brood as my favorite X-Men villain. So this is a retelling of, oh man, somebody help me. It's 271 or 260 or 169 or something like that. But it's a great classic story of the X-Men fighting the Brood. So X-Men Classics retell those. I'm looking forward to going through it and seeing what the difference is. And I have several of these versions of this story. Actually, this will be like my third type of printing of this story. At least. So, all right, thanks. Looks good, guys. All right, that's good. Hoping it sounds good too. I think it's going to work out. Here is number 60 as well, X-Men Classics. I'm on vacation, so I went to a new shop that I had never been to before, and it was really cool. He kind of ran the shop the way I would run a shop as far as comic prices go. He had pops, and he had all kinds of figures, and he had memorabilia, and he had classic arcade games, all kinds of cool stuff. Really, really, really cool shop. So one of the reasons that I wanted to go there was because I'm going to try and get all kinds of comic shops put in. The place that I'm staying has multiple shops. Like within 30 minutes of me, there's going to be like 5 or 6 shops. So I'm going to try and hit at least a few of them up, if not all of them up throughout the week. And my main goal is to find some wall books that are reasonably priced. So I went to this shop and he had several books that were that looked good. And he had oh cool. Metarog says he has a blank UPC variant of this one. Cool. Hey, TJ Watson. So we had we went there, and I was looking. He didn't have very many wall books up. Nothing, not even lower price ones. He had like some $10 books here and there. And then there was a little sign, which I was going to do this anyway, but there was a little sign, and it said, ask me if you're looking for more wall books, just ask me. I have some more in the back. So I was like, cool, because I was going to walk up and ask that anyway. So I went up to the guy and I said, looking for wall books. He said, what are you looking for in particular? I said, wall books. He said, okay. He said, just anything? I said, yeah. He said, I don't have really anything too expensive, nothing over $100. And I said, that's fine with me, because I wasn't, this is the first shop I'm going to out of probably 5 or 6 shops. So I definitely didn't want to spend it all in one shop. So I was like, yeah, that sounds great. So he pulled out like 5 short boxes of books one at a time. And I went through each box and found what I needed to. Now, this particular one, of course, is not a wall book. This is just, kind of a standard book. But you'll see the ones I picked up from the wall books in a minute. So here's Lone Ranger Annual number 213. So glad to have that. I think what I'm going to do with that is I think it's the only annual that Lone Ranger put out. And Lone Ranger was the book. It's a set of books that I brought with me this time to read on vacation. So that's going to be pretty cool. Glad to have that. I'm not up to where this annual fits in yet, but it's volume 2. It's kind of a volume 2 annual. So, and I only brought volume 1 with me, but I was glad to have it. These were all $1 so far. Here's The Cow. #1. So it's spring summer 2001, and I just thought it was a cool cover. And then also it had a lot of inside. It's got a lot of cool stuff on it. So of course it's got Witchblade on the cover. I thought it was pretty cool. So it says interview, previews, original stories, news, and more. I've never seen a Top Cow like fan mag before, so I thought this was pretty cool. So I picked it up for $1. I really couldn't say no. Here's Captain America 386. Picked this up for my son. He's a big U.S. Agent fan. So pretty much anytime, and he pops up, he tends to just kind of show up in stories. So anytime I see U.S. Agent, I usually pick this up, and this one will be his. So I just thought it was a cool U.S. Agent cover. Let's see what else. And we got, okay. So here's What The. All right, it's What The #5. So I didn't even know that this comic existed, but very glad to have it. Yeah, DS Comics says you're becoming quite the Lone Ranger collector. Let me tell you, I sat on the beach this morning and read the first 6 Lone Ranger comics of Volume 1 that Dynamite put out, and they were fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I'm going to read them all. It's an excellent read. Great art, great story. Everything about it was just fantastic. And John Cassaday covers. So they had me hooked. It was a recommend from the shop owner, and I already wanted it because of the Cassaday cover. So between those two things, I couldn't say no. They're just fantastic books. I highly recommend them. Here is a What The #5. So I'll tell you a little preview of some videos that are going to be coming up. So this What The series is nothing special to me, but this actual image. So when I first started collecting comics, when I first started collecting as a kid, I didn't collect comics very much. I collected trading cards, and the collection that I was after as a completist, which never really went away, was to collect the Wolverine From Then Till Now Series 2 set. And so every time I went to a shop or went to a newsstand or anything like that, I always picked those up. And I almost had a complete set. And the first con that I went to several years back, I found a completed set for sale very reasonably. So I bought that, and then I filled in I think I was missing like 3 cards. So as a kid, I collected all but 3 cards. And then I finished that set out as an adult. Never thought to look on eBay to pick up the cards. I guess I could have. But the first Comic-Con I ever went to, I picked up the rest of those. So it was pretty cool. Well, in that set, there's 2 pictures on every card. The front picture has a card, or the front of the card has a picture, and it's usually a cover swipe, or an interior panel swipe, or a back cover swipe. So there's some John Boltons in there. So what happens is that when you turn the card over, it'll tell you something about Wolverine, right? They're all about Wolverine. And on the back, there'll be another little picture. And that picture is either a cover swipe or the same thing, or an interior panel or a back cover swipe, something like that. So what happened is that this was actually one of the pictures featured in one of those cards. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through that entire stack of cards. I forget how many there are, 90 something, I think. And I'm going to match it to every comic that I have that includes one of those cards, because I have I think now I have 3 sets of that, 3 complete sets of that. So I should be able to go through and match each one with the comic that it goes with. And in some cases, maybe more than one card, or in some cases, I may need doubles of that card to put into different comics, because like I said, the front and the back had different pictures on it. So that's why I picked this up, because it reminds me of when I was a kid collecting that card and seeing that. And I thought that was the funniest thing I ever saw when I was a kid. Wolverine getting a hole blown through his chest, and you can see the slices on the Punisher just in pieces. So I just absolutely loved it. So I'm picking this one up, and this is the first one. It's probably going to make me go ahead and start that deal, which is very difficult, because to find the interior panels to some of those cards is going to be real hard. So and as I've gone through, I've already noticed a few, and I said, oh, it'd be cool if I did that, but I didn't go ahead and stick the card in there. So now I'm going to have to kind of dig through the old ones that I've already read and see if I can find where the card goes. So there's that. And then we have, let's see. Thanks. Metarog says that's a super cool project. I appreciate that. Let's see. And then we have TJ Watson says he's a big Lone Ranger, the painted covers. Those are pretty cool. Next, we had a Cave Woman Shorts 2. It's called Cave Woman Shorts 2. And it's a Bud Root special edition cover, 1 of 500. I mean, technically it's like that, but who would put a cover like that? So there you go. There's Cave Woman. Glad to have that. Had a decent deal. He had a little bit of a sale going on, so this one was like 10% off, and then some of the others were 25% off. So I was happy to get this. Anytime I can pick up the low print run Cave Woman Bud Root covers, specifically all that together, I know, right? Then I'll pick it up. So this is one of those. I was glad to have it. One of the things about the interior of this book is that I already know I'm not going to like it, and I thumbed through it a little bit, and I don't like it because it's Devin Massey interior, and his style of art is like goofy Playboy type cartoons, you know, very ridiculously proportioned and oversized and just goofy looking. It looks like a kid drew it, and not a good kid, like not a good kid drawer. So DS Comics says it's another Bub and Mrs. Bub's cover because he's got the big old dead croc. Hey, watch it there, DS. You called me a cat the other day. It was some kind of it was a saber-toothed tiger. He said, "There goes Bubs again." So, but yeah. So I like this, and I don't know if you can tell from there. It's something of a nude cover, so I'll take that down. But not much of one. Usually this was an earlier one, and they didn't get real racy till later. And then here was the big pickup of the day, and it's an X-Men #1 signed by Jim Lee, and it has the COA on the back with a little picture of Jim Lee, and the back of that little postcard picture, it's like embossed and stuff, and it has all this official, you know, the Jim Lee signature has to be written across the X-Men in gold metallic, blah, blah, blah. So, so the COA is pretty cool. But I was happy to have this. I picked this up for $20. So, like I said, I went through all his wall books, heavy quotes on the wall books. I went through all his wall books. He was honest with me up front, saying he didn't have anything of super high value. He had a Preacher #1 that he was going to sell me for like 120, but you know, it's not really what I'm into. I didn't think there was too much meat on the bone left on that one. Maybe if I got it graded, it would go for about 250, but I don't know. I just wasn't really interested, and it's not really my thing. But I like this Jim Lee signed X-Men #1. If you remember any of my room tours, I have all 4 connecting covers kind of permanently displayed because it was the first set that I collected of comics. Those first 4 that I hunted down and couldn't find, I found them all for $1. So I was super happy. So I've got this one here, and this one will replace the one that I have up there now. So now when I look at that display, it'll have a signature on it. So I think that'll be pretty cool. So thanks, guys. Yeah, says that's cool. So hopefully it'll match well in the thing and that signature. I have it real high up on the wall, so I'm hoping that signature still shows up because it's kind of, I mean, they're real proud he signed it in gold, but honestly, if he had signed it in black, it would have shown up better. It is pretty cool, and it matches my Stan Lee signature, which is written with the same kind of pen. So that's cool. So anyway, that's my little haul. Didn't want this to go on too long, but I did want to test the Wi-Fi, make sure it's all good for our No Faces chat tomorrow night. So if you're watching this on the replay and it's Monday, remember that tonight we're going to do the No Faces chat. So that's it. So I hope you all enjoyed that. Guys, it was cool to see you. Anybody else in the chat? All good. Thanks for hanging with me and testing out the tech and making sure everything's good to go for tomorrow. And I hope you enjoy my little haul, and I'll catch y'all later. When you get done watching this little quick video, go ahead and read a comic. Thanks. Bye.